Imagine you're walking down a dark street late at night. You see a man walking toward you. He's wearing dirty clothes. His hair is unwashed. He has a scar on his cheek and he's muttering to himself. Your heart rate spikes. Your hand grips your phone. Your brain screams danger. You cross the street to avoid him. Now imagine the same dark street. But this time, the man walking toward you is wearing a tailored suit. He's clean-shaven. He has a symmetrical face and a warm, friendly smile. He looks like a doctor or a lawyer. Your heart rate stays calm. You might even smile back. You think nothing of it. Just made a fatal error, because in the world of dark psychology, the second man is statistically more likely to be the predator. The first man is likely just homeless or mentally ill. He is vulnerable. The second man has the intelligence, the resources, and the social camouflage to hunt you without you ever noticing. You have just fallen victim to the single most dangerous glitch in the human brain. It's called the halo effect.
What?
And it's the reason why monsters don't look like monsters. They look like your dream date. Welcome to the psychology of the beautiful predator. To understand why you trust the wrong people, we have to look at the machinery of your brain. Your brain is an energy conservation machine. It's lazy. Processing every single person you meet as a unique, complex individual takes too much energy. So your brain uses shortcuts, called heuristics. The most powerful heuristic is this: beautiful equals good. In 1920, a psychologist named Edward Thorndike discovered that if we see one positive trait in a person, like physical beauty, we automatically assume they possess other positive traits. If they're handsome, we assume they're smart. If they're pretty, we assume they're kind. If they're charming, we assume they're honest. We paint a halo over their head. This isn't a social choice. This is a biological imperative. For 200,000 years, healthy symmetrical mates meant better survival for our offspring. So we are hardwired to trust beauty. But in the modern world, this biological programming is a vulnerability. Predators know this. Narcissists, psychopaths, and con artists know that if they dress well and smile, they can bypass your logical brain and walk right through your front door. There is no better example of this weaponized beauty than the case of Theodore Robert Bundy. You know the name? Most people don't understand the mechanics of his manipulation. They think he was a genius supervillain. He wasn't. He was a failing law student who was arrested multiple times for petty theft. But he had one superpower. He knew how to use the halo effect. Let us look at the Lake Sammamish abductions in 1974. This is the terrifying reality of how the halo effect works in the wild. On a crowded beach with thousands of people watching, Ted Bundy approached young women in broad daylight. He didn't grab them. He didn't threaten them. He played a role. He wore a fake plaster cast on his arm, or sometimes he used crutches. He pretended to struggle with his books or his sailboat, triggered the caretaker instinct in his victims. Women looked at him and saw a handsome, clean-cut man who was injured. Their brains said, he's hurt, so he can't be dangerous. He's handsome, so he must be a good person. Witnesses later said he looked polite and non-threatening. Janice OTT and Denise Nasland walked away with him willingly while hundreds of people watched. They were never seen alive again. This is the horror of the halo effect. It turns your empathy against you. If a creepy-looking man asked for help, those women would have said no. But because Bundy wore the mask of a handsome law student, their defenses vanished. Even after he was captured, the halo effect continued to distort reality. This is where it gets truly disturbing. When Bundy was on trial for the brutal murder of over 30 women, he became a celebrity. He didn't act like a killer in court. He wore a blue blazer and a boatie. He smiled at the cameras, represented himself, and cracked jokes with the prosecution. The public couldn't reconcile the man they saw with the crimes he committed. It caused cognitive dissonance. People thought, he looks so normal. He looks so nice. There must be a mistake. Young women started showing up to the trial. They were called Bundyphiles. They dressed up for him. They giggled when he looked at them. They wrote him thousands of love letters in prison. They weren't crazy. They were hijacked by the halo effect. Their biological instinct to trust a handsome, confident male overrode the logical evidence that he was a necrophile and a murderer. The judge in the case, Edward Cowart, delivered one of the most chilling lines in legal history. After sentencing Bundy to death, the judge looked at the handsome killer and said, "You're a bright young man. I would have loved to have you practice in front of me, but you went another way, partner. Take care of yourself. Think about that. A judge telling a serial killer to take care of himself. That is the power of the halo. It makes even the law go soft. But you might be thinking, I'm not going to meet a serial killer, so this doesn't apply to me. You're wrong. The halo effect is being used against you every single day. It's used in job interviews. Studies show that attractive candidates are hired significantly more often than qualified candidates who are less attractive. It's used in politics. Vote for the candidate who looks the most presidential, not the one with the best policies. And it's used most dangerously in modern dating. The Tinder swindler, the covert narcissist, is the bad boy. They all rely on the same trick. They present a polished, perfect image. They use love bombing and charm to blind you. Because they look good, you ignore the red flags. You ignore the fact that they never answer their phone at night. You ignore the fact that they're rude to the waiter. You ignore the gut feeling that something is off. You make excuses for them. Oh, he's just stressed. Oh, she's just having a bad day. No, they are showing you who they really are. But the halo is blinding you to the truth. So how do you remove the blindfold? How do you turn off a 200,000-year-old biological instinct and see the predator for what they really are? We've developed a 3-step defense protocol. Rule number 1, the mute button strategy, is almost entirely verbal. Psychopaths are masters of language. They know exactly what to say to make you feel special. To defeat this, you must separate the visual from the action. If you meet someone charming who is asking you for a favor or trying to move a relationship too fast, I want you to mentally hit the mute button. Imagine you can't hear their voice. Imagine you can't see their handsome face. Look only at their actions. Did they do what they said they would do? Is there a transactional nature to their request? If you remove the charm in the face, is the behavior still acceptable? Usually the answer is no. Rule number 2, the 2 perfect red flag. This is a concept from FBI profiling. Normal human beings are messy. We're awkward. We have bad days. We have insecurities. Psychopaths and narcissists are performance artists. They are playing a character. If you meet someone who seems to have no flaws, run. If they agree with everything you say, run. If they are perfectly groomed, perfectly polite, and never seem to have a single moment of friction, they are wearing a mask. Ted Bundy was described by everyone as a perfect gentleman. That wasn't his personality. That was his camouflage. Imperfection is a sign of humanity. Perfection is a sign of a predator. Rule number 3, invert the bias. This requires active cognitive effort. When you find yourself instantly liking someone because they are attractive or charismatic, you must trigger a manual override in your brain. Tell yourself, this person is dangerous until proven otherwise. Force yourself to look for one flaw. Force yourself to disagree with them on one small topic and watch how they react. A normal person will accept the disagreement. A narcissist acting under the halo effect will often flash a micro-expression of anger or contempt because you broke the spell. That micro-expression is the crack in the mask. That is the real face. The world is dangerous not because there are monsters hiding in the shadows. The world is dangerous because the monsters learned how to step into the light. They learned that if they smile big enough, you will open the door for them. Ted Bundy is gone, but the mechanism he used is alive and well. It's in your dating apps. It's in your office. It might be in your house right now. Stop looking at the halo. Start looking at the hands. Because the hands are holding the knife. But sometimes the predator doesn't use charm. Sometimes they use a totally different tactic. They don't try to make you love them. They try to make you pity them. They play the victim so perfectly that you destroy yourself trying to save them. This is the darkest manipulation of all. It's called the vulnerable narcissist. And if you want to know if you're being manipulated by someone playing the victim, you need to click this video right here. The tears are fake. The danger is real.